state which will live in infamy. We are now in this war. We're all in it, all the way.
Thousands and thousands of Chinese communists came into Korea.
Our full commitment to the people and to the government of South Vietnam.
We know there are hazards there. No one can feel more deeply about the loss of life.
Just 2 hours ago, Allied air forces began an attack on military targets in Iraq and Kuwait.
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack.
American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq.
On behalf of a grateful nation, welcome home.
Got recalled to active duty, and I was stationed in Washington. My next door neighbor was F. Clinton Knight, the Kingfish of American Legion in the state of Virginia. Joined Post 24, became a commander in 1967, and met a lot of wonderful friends, and Warden Foley and I became close friends. We had quite a few handy men among our World War II veterans, and Foley spent a tremendous number of weekends down here keeping the place patched together. Back when the post was originally formed, they were meeting in the Chamber of Commerce office. Clinton Knight and some of the others, native sons, wanted to buy and preserve the Gatsbys Tavern as a post home. They paid $18,000 for the falling down, decrepit Gatsby's complex. Foley and some of the other handymen, they spent a lot of weekends down here keeping the place patched together, keep it from falling down. And I was trying to the Foundation Center in Washington. I spent many, many days down there trying to find out the foundations that would help us. And at one point we tried to give it away to the Stonewall Jackson Foundation that owned Lee's boyhood home. And they would take it only if we had it repaired. The World War I people, their goal was to have it restored and a community center of some kind, and the American Legion always have some identification with it. So we decided that it might be in our advantage to give the whole thing to the city. The city would have title to it, but the American Legion would in perpetuity to have use of this back wing, which was added after the Civil War. And we would have it rent-free in perpetuity. And all we'd have to do was pay the phone bill and the TV bill. And so that was finally the deal that was struck. Some years ago, the National American Legion magazine ran a story about the history and how the Legion saved Gatsbys Tavern, and they headlined it George Washington's Post. That was the headline on the story, and so you notice in our T-shirts that George Washington's Post. We carried out the wishes of the World War I people. It has been completely restored. They have the restaurant, we have the museum, and everything has been preserved, and the American Legion has their identity with the tavern in perpetuity.